I thought it was a Mexican.
Yeah, a Puerto Rican nigga y'all talking about.
Mexican ass nigga, man.
I'm like, you be talking to the nigga y'all be over there in the locker room. I'm like, bro, I don't know
that's exactly how I was. I always knew it was real.
Yeah.
Someone like, yeah, man, he's over there talking to Ramos. I'm like, nigga. Like, I don't know no Spanish nigga out here, man. What you talking about? They're like, nah, nigga, drill. I'm like, oh, that nigga last name Ramos?
Yeah.
And I feel like I walked right up to you like, nigga, your last name Ramos?
Everybody say that, nigga, like, you're not Puerto Rican. I was like,
nigga,
it's like, why do black people like lie about their race and think black people like, nigga, I don't think me being half Puerto Rican is cool. Like I mean, it's cool, but I don't know my daddy, so I'm black basically. Niggas like, no, you're not Puerto Rican.
Nigga, you better than us.
Like, nigga, look at my last name. We don't get no more Spanish than
like
that.
You lied about your last name.
This nigga
that's the girl I talked to the other day and shit. I was like, yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. And she was like, you're Puerto Rican? She said, what's your last name? I'm like, Ramos. And she was like, oh, yeah, you're fucking Spanish as fuck. I'm like,
thanks for confirming.
I made it up to be.
¿Tú hablas?
Huh?
¿Tú hablas?
¿Tú hablas? No.
Okay.
Un poquito.
¿Entiende mucho?
LC?
Oh, okay, so you can understand it, you just can't speak it.
Shit, nigga,
I gotta learn that shit too, nigga. My name Raphael and shit. Yeah. Everybody be thinking I'm Spanish.
Turtle.
Yeah, you look like you fucking Dominican.
Ninja turtle.
All right, let's do it.
You already started?
Yeah, I did.
Shit, fuck it. Just ride.
All right.
You forgot to start it?
No, I didn't. I'm just trying to make sure it didn't.
I'm about to say, that's a good ass little intro. Good.
It's still running, yeah.
Oh, man. Shit, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, same man. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack addict. Drunk Tours podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, a.k.a. Wakanda.
And I'm your other host, Jarrell from PO, you know.
And we got our boy here again, Raphael, CEO Raph. So, man, look, man, we was like, we got to keep this thing going. We got the drinks flowing. We're about to head back down.
I forgot I was taking the toast. I drank mine already.
Go ahead for another one, man.
Man, fuck that. We can just go
ahead. Celebration, man.
Yeah,
Celebration
all
right.
Yeah, all
nah,
right.
that's bad luck, bro. You got to put some in there. I put some in the cup, man. I ain't toasting that cup, man.
That's bad luck. I ain't know that.
Hey, we about to gamble.
Oh, shit, man.
Hey, I know they ain't talking about that. Motherfuckers over there splitting balls and shit.
I don't know about that one.
All right.
We gotta say what we talk. Hey man, anyway, big rap in the building. All right, let's talk about some real shit, cause I feel like we always, us personally all together, we really don't even be talking about hoes and stuff like that, because it's a little beneath us at this point. Like everybody going to hell, but we know people like hearing about it. We love talking about little tips. You should do this. You should do this. Let's talk about something else, a little more grown.
All right, for sure. Yeah, as you see it, once again, part 2, we in Vegas. You know, we're gonna get away from, like my boy Yates said, topic of just relations and just traveling bullshit and getting to something a little bit more inspiring. So today this episode we're gonna be talking about just motivation, where you get your motivation from, and how do you make sure you kind of stay motivated and just inspired throughout just whatever it is that you're doing in life. Let's go.
Man, I feel like we all can burn out at times. Like I try to stick to a plan, and you know, some days you just wake up and you like, I ain't feeling it today. So with me, besides my normal things that get me motivated, like business, family, you know, those type of things, man, I'm at that stage now where I listen to motivational people. Mm-hmm. You know, I got people like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, you know, you got these C.T. Fletcher. Mm-hmm. There's just so many people I listen to depending on like what I'm looking to gain from them, whether it's financial advice, whether it's mental, you know, so I just get mine from outside sources and then I meditate on that.
That's real. And even to piggyback off that, it's important to like have a diverse portfolio of people you listen to. You know, like you saying finances. Like go listen to Ray Dalio if you're talking about investment. Go listen to Tony Robbins if you're talking about motivation. Go listen to Inky Johnson if you're talking about determination and consistency. Go listen to Tom Bilyeu if you talk about business planning. Go listen. You know, like don't find something that I like this and stick to it forever. Like make it a cornerstone. Make it a habit. Like one big thing I strive for daily is to be at least 1% better every single day. So one way I go about that is I try to listen to informative information every single day, at least an hour a day. because I just think of the compound effect. Like if I could just get an hour a day of quality information, not just like, you know, BS rhetoric of just something that sounds semi-positive, but like actually quality information. If I can get an hour a day for 10 years, like how far ahead can I be? And I try to, you know, up that on the regular, but I try to bare minimum get an hour of quality information, like whether it's, you know, just understanding human nature, you know, psychology, investments, business, just understanding how the world's changing now, seeing how the market's shifting, seeing how people are handling, you know, this time shift, seeing like going back in a time and seeing like how is this cyclical? When has this happened before? How, you know, whether it's the .com boom and seeing if that relates to how the market's looking now with this new, you know, the way Corona affected everything, you know, and just being able to like take at least an hour a day to just work towards like constantly looking for frequent traits, because history is cyclical, you know. So if you could just notice, hey, when this happens, this always happens, you just ahead of the game. And if you could just put an hour in a day, like that keeps you motivated, and it's no longer really work because it turns into a habit. Like one thing is like whenever I drive, I listen to a podcast, or I listen to an audible, or I listen to a speech, or I listen to an investment hedge fund talking about their performance for the quarter, whatever. Like just that 30-minute drive back and forth, I got my hour in.
Right.
And now anything else I do that's extra, but I always know like if I at least do that, I'm 1% better. That's not including the gym. That's not including friends I talk to and say, hey,
or your
what you think
own,
about
or
this?
your own like information gained by experience, by doing your own thing. Because you know, a lot of people don't. I won't say don't, but a lot of people underestimate just knowledge that you gain from yourself just through experience and just through, you know, mistakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nothing better than mistakes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm definitely like that too. I think, you know, where I find my motivation is like you said, like, you know, I like listening to like people like 19 Keys and you know, David Ramsey, Wall Street Trapper and stuff like that. Like just like random people. And then I feel like
Earn Your Leisure, man.
Yeah, definitely Earn Your Leisure. I feel like it's important for me to stay motivated by like having milestones for myself and also like just self-reflection of just like how I was in the past, just like as far as like how far I came and just things I did. And, you know, so when I get discouraged or I feel like I'm kind of knocked off, like, you know, because sometimes you wake up and you like feeling like everything in the world is possible. You know, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, I can really believe I can do everything and anything I want. And then some days I just wake up and I'm like, damn, like, am I wasting my time? Like, you know, am I really going to get the things that I want? And then, you know, to quickly get out of that, you know, you got to go back and, you know, look at like the progress that you made and just see like, you know what I mean? Like I'm moving, like I'm still, you know, it might be baby steps or, you know, but like you said, compound effect, long as I'm, you know, continuously getting better, or continuously growing or whatnot. Like I feel like that's like, for me, like that's what keeps me going and just trying to submerge myself in just, you know, creativity, because I like to just do creative stuff. So, you know, I try to keep YouTube on the TV instead of just music videos all the time. Keep YouTube on the video, watching people do things I like to do while I'm drawing or while I'm writing and stuff like that, and just really just put myself in that world of like just creativity, in that world of just, you know, success. So
I think about it like your brain is like, it's like a radio.
Right.
So if you ever really been around an old school radio, I know this kind of old, but you know, an old school radio, when you cut it on, you have to tune to the frequency of what you want to listen to. Now, when the radio's not on, all those frequencies are still in the room, but you have to tune to what you want to hear. You know, you cut it on, you might get country, rap, rock, you got to find what you like. I see that as like, all of that information you're ingesting is just you tuning your mind what to look for. So like, if you constantly ingesting like financial literacy, that will lead to you attracting opportunities to invest in things you know about. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, like the law of attraction is really, it's mostly like just being prepared for when the opportunity comes, and always, and and basically being able to tap into the frequency. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really tap in if the radio turned off. You know, it's kind of weird. I know that analogy is kind of all over the place, but it's important to like be so engulfed in an environment of growth that when a growth opportunity presents itself, it doesn't feel like, this is the opportunity. It's just like, yeah, I'm not surprised because this is what I've been preparing for, you know?
Right. And I would say another thing that helps me with motivation, kind of having a cheat sheet. I have mentors. Mm-hmm. So I call them my circle of millionaires. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to be a millionaire by a certain time. Mm-hmm. And the best way for me to do that is to stop having contacts where I'm just chit-chatting throughout the day and it's meaningless conversation. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to people that was in my field of expertise. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm in real estate, financial investing, angel investing, cryptocurrency, NFTs. So I'm reaching out to these people that's in that space who are already successful, and I'm saying, hey, what do I need to do in order for me to be able to sit at the table with you? Like, how do I need to prepare? If you giving a lecture, how can I be there? So, you know, I've reached out to several people, and they've took me under their wing, and they hold me accountable. So they say, look, you reached out to me. You said that this is what you wanted. So did you do this like I told you to do? Are you doing this every day? Are you keeping up with it? So just having that accountability. So like, it's not, some people can feel okay about letting themselves down, but they don't want to let other people down. Right. So that just kind of give you that little extra motivation.
Yeah. Well, as far as mentors, another thing about mentors, because I was just talking to one of my little cousins about this, it's important excuse me, it's important to have mentors. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that you should just be taken from your mentor. You know, obviously you have more to gain because they're in a different position, but the only way to really get a mentor who cares is to add value to their life too. Like, for example, I have a big circle of mentors from in all areas. I really try to have a mentor in every area. Like, I have a mentor for relationships, I have a mentor for finances, I have a mentor for health. I have I try to find people who are just so far ahead of me that whenever in any area, somebody just very far ahead of me in any area, I want to make them a mentor for that area. I don't try to get one mentor who's everything. I try to get multiple mentors for every area. But one thing, one thing I recognize, shit. Ooh, excuse me.
I was gonna say, give me a cup.
Man, give me another shot. That's what I need. One thing about mentors is you need to be adding value back to them. So I have mentors who, for example, I have a few mentors who are multi-millionaires, right? It's nothing I could do for them. Nothing I can do for them that day, honestly. And I have other mentors who aren't millionaires, super well off, but like I have mentors in health, like the most fit men you'll ever meet, like crazy. Like, that's my health mentor. Also doing super well, 6 figures, whatever. But all of them, I would sit back and be like, man, what can I do for them? There's nothing I could really, just financially be like, oh, this is a big deal. You got all this. I can give you a Gucci shirt. It's like, oh, thank you, but I got 100 of these. I got, and I got them all massages because I realized I was sitting there. I was like, what do they need? You know what I mean? I'm like, busy men, well off. I'm gonna get them at-home massages whenever you want, schedule it, whatever. None of them used it. None of them. It was like 5. I got like 5 of them, paid for them. None of them used it. Excuse me. She called me like, yo, nobody's used this. Called all of them, yo, use the. They're like, oh yeah, I mean, too busy. Yeah. All of them though, since then have stepped in different areas. Like, first off, regularly, like weekly, call. Everything okay? You need help with anything? You need some advice? Talk to me. Where you at? Where you at mentally? How's your family? Boom, boom. But even besides that, just when I call, it means more. And they've all expressed like, because you did that, obviously I could buy her business. I don't really need you to buy that for me, but you look for a gap. And I think that's a big fault, is that people don't look for gaps to fill in the space. Like, how can I actually help, instead of just saying like, oh, help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you want that too, because, you know, you got to be realistic. Like, come on, give me the sauce, you know, but like, help back. You know what I mean?
But sometimes I feel like when it comes down to mentors and stuff like that, like sometimes people just genuinely, the thing that they want to see give back is just seeing you use the information and the motivation that they're giving you. Sure. I know when I used to play sports and stuff, I had a trainer and stuff, and he was expensive, and I couldn't really afford it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was obviously going to school full time, playing football full time. Like, my mom wasn't going to pay for it. Like, you know what I mean? And I try to kick him like $100 a month or something like that. Or sometimes he was charging like a couple $100 like every few sessions and stuff. But but for him, like it just brought, you know, joy back to him, just seeing somebody just basically just almost like a protege, or just seeing somebody use the information that he provided, just to see that they're making use of it, just because he knows at that point, like his information and his words not going to waste on somebody and stuff like that. But yeah, what do you say, Tay? Like about just like when you feeling motivated, what do you feel like in the sense of like the insecurities, or what do you feel like is one of the things that you feel like you struggle with staying motivated, that you're trying to work on?
I think just making sure that I'm in a good mental space. My wife helps me a lot with that.
Shout out to wifey.
Yeah, definitely shout out to her.
Diana.
Because I mean, I've lived in the dumps. You know, I've lived in places where I couldn't even lock my door, and I had no furniture, and the carpet smelled like piss stains. So it's like I've been at the bottom, and I've lived a nice, luxurious lifestyle. So I've seen both worlds. So sometimes when things get hard, it's like, well, I know what the hard times are like. I can make it like that, but it's like, well, I know I got bigger plans than that. It's not just me I'm looking out for. So my mission and my motivation comes building legacy. You know, I'm trying to build an empire. So it's not just about me and my generation. It's generations ahead of that. One of the things that Western people looked at when it came to Chinese people is they noticed that their plan in life, when they make decisions, they did it based on the next 300 years.
Right.
So they start taking that copy. And so like the businesses that we see here now in America, that's how they were formed, because they weren't thinking about now, today. They were thinking, how is my family going to eat 300 years from now? So I kind of take that same approach, and I'm not thinking about it now, because
really planting seeds.
Yeah, I can make $1 million and spend all that money before I die. Okay, cool. That don't do nothing. But I want to just lay the foundation for everything that I'm doing. Then I want the next generation to build on that and be better than me at what we were doing.
That's real. That's real. Yeah, that's deep, man.
Shout out Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. I read that every single day, because I know I grew up in a very religious household, and you almost semi-talk to like not view money as like a good thing.
Right.
You know, like almost like it, you know, like a lot of people like to say the root of all evil. You know, not actually money, is actually the love of money. Right. But they almost coincide depending on how you were raised. And that verse has always been really, really big to me, to remind me that, you know, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So, you know, I consider myself a great man, so I gotta triple that bad boy up. I gotta be great grandkids, great grandkids.
Right. And that's not, and I feel like that's not even necessarily just like financial. You know what I mean? I feel like that comes down to just ideology. You know what I mean? Just like things like manners. Morals. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, you know, me growing up in the South originally, like, you know what I mean, that's one thing, like everywhere I used to go growing up, even still now, people are like, oh, you well mannered, blah, blah, blah. It's just something simple as just being respectful can be passed down. Something that, as obviously money, you know, obviously money's the main thing that we think of just because of just the system we live in. Sure. But, you know, what's the point of raising a kid? He got $1 million, but he has no class, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just a mixture of things. I feel like you said, that your kids can inherit. And like you said, you know, God says that He wants people to have abundance, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of how you really acting with it and how you really getting it, you know. But
And that's why I think integrity is so important. And we gloss past it a lot. And I think it's so much more important than we realize to just be a man. You know, like to be somebody that you would be proud to be around if it wasn't you.
Right.
Like, that's what I think about a lot. It's like, when when you have those decisions, like, I don't know if I want to do it. How do I want to handle this? And you just like, if I wasn't me,
how would I view the situation? How would I view this person acting this way?
Exactly. And like, once you start to live in that space, like, life just gets better. Because you no longer have to, like, question, like, even like, let's say my Airbnb. Like, the core principle for everybody who helps me with the Airbnb cleaners, my girl who manages most of everything, is customer service first. So like, if somebody has a complaint or somebody has an issue or whatever, and let's say it's gonna cost me money. Like, I had somebody, they wanted more coffee mugs, right? I'm busy, and without having to ask me, my girl went and bought a bunch of coffee mugs and a bunch of coffee, took it over there, dropped it off, whatever, before they realized it, gave them everything they needed. And I didn't have to tell her to do that because, excuse me, ooh, the principle is customer service. So when you have like guidelines, golly, guidelines that you live by, it just makes everything easier because you don't have to question stuff no more. It's just, it's automatic. It's like, okay, I don't have to, if you tell me that your biggest thing is trust, and you not here, and you leave some money here, I know, like, hey, no, this trail money, like, this is big to him. For our relationship to flourish, you need to be able to trust me with your money here. And it's just like, I feel like nowadays people no longer have principles. I feel like when we were growing up, I feel like that was really pressed. Like, I remember especially my uncles, like, I remember, like, and maybe it wasn't always the best, but I remember, like, let's say you my cousin, we get to fighting, and I give you a black eye, and then you go tell on me, and they be like, the principal, like, you don't tell. So now both of y'all in trouble. Like, it's sometimes maybe something like that don't seem right, but you learn, like, you get to establish your own principles. You know, you shouldn't let somebody else put it on you. But whatever you say, look, this is me, I feel like that's something, like, when you can find something to stand on, life is just so much easier because you don't have to question so much. It's just like, it's automatic. You know what I mean? What you think about that, right? Principles, morals, and standards, and
like what in particular, like just like
having a certain set of principles to live by.
No, I mean, I feel like it's mandatory because I feel like it's like, I feel like you don't really have necessarily a outline of your character if you don't have those things. You're kind of just I don't know, you're kind of just everything. Like, there's no real structure, you know. It's almost just like how, like, you know, just the Bible ethics and stuff, keeping a man walking upright and stuff. I feel like it's kind of the same thing as that. Like, you know, it's almost like that's what separates you from being like a beast in a sense. Like, those are the things that keep you from, you know, falling too far left or too far right in a certain way. Just, I don't know. Just I feel like it's just I feel like it's necessary for character. Like, I feel like, you know, without those things, you're probably not gonna have a fruitful life. You're probably not gonna have, you know, too much respect in your life. You're probably like, I don't know. It's like, and the sad thing is a lot of people don't really see that as a big deal.
Fact.
Just because I feel like in this today and age, I just feel like, you know, like that can be passed by money and clout. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got money and clout, or, you know what I mean, people can bypass like your integrity.
I feel like
crazy.
Morals, values, principles, I view that coming from a business aspect, that's your branding. Like, that's who you are. So
that's hard.
You look hard at that like,
that's hard.
Money's cool. Money can buy you things, but it's different when people know who you are and they know what they expect from you. Like, that holds weight, and they can take you a long way. So if it's like, if I'm rich, right? But then let's use Kanye for example. So Kanye was rich, He had some
That boy
bad
still
dealings.
rich.
He had some bad dealings and he ended up broke.
Right.
Now, he had to borrow money from people in order for him to be able to make the investments to get him back where he needed to be. If people thought that his character had a flaw in it and he's not a man of his word, who's going to lend him that kind of money?
Right, that's a fact.
So, you just kind of got to look past money because in our time, everything is about being fast. Like everything is go, go, go. And people just like money, money, money. Yeah, so it's like, you got to slow down and like hold yourself accountable and have those values and principles.
And I like how you said that because I was just on Twitter and stuff, and 21 dude Measy or whatever, his manager, he said
Shout out Measy, man.
Yeah, he said something about
Money Man.
He was talking about 21's like features and stuff. He was talking about like he's all like talking about how much they charge and shit. And he was like, "This is the price," and he was like, "Unless he's like it is the deal. It's like either you pay the price or you pay with your relationship." You know what I'm saying? And that made me think like kind of like what you were saying, just with the just your character, like it's like. If I know, you may not have a lot of shit going on and you might be in a tough time, I know you may not be this prominent person or politician or something and can have all this money to be able to pay me what I feel like I deserve. But if I feel like you a solid person and you just a solid individual, like I'm gonna fuck with you just because off top. And that is currency itself, is just your self-value and your self-worth is currency. So it's like, just being a stand-up person, it has a value of its own.
That's fire.
Because, like, literally, if I had $1,000 in my pocket, I got family members that they can come ask me for $10. I can't give it to you. Now, if you asking to borrow it, I can't give it to you because you're not going to pay that back. If you tell me you need it, I can probably give it to you. But if you say you want to borrow it, I know you're not going to pay me back, so you're not getting that.
Right.
He can come ask me for $999 and be like, I give it back to you in 6 months. He got it. You know what I'm saying? Because we got that rapport. I know his character. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's that weight.
I doubt about that now. I'm like, look, listen. I gotta get it. I gotta get back to him. Right. Congrats, picking up cans, like. But I love how you say branding. That it is a version of branding yourself because people really do stamp you by your principles. Shit hard. That's hard. I like that. I'm taking that.
Yeah. But we'll end that on that note, man, because I know we kind of drifting off a little bit. But that was.
We're gonna get back to the hoes on the next one.
But yeah, no, that's that's a good note to end on. But as you see, Drunk Tours Podcast, this episode, we talking about motivation, leading in the principles and characters. Basically, the overall message that we getting across is, find the things that drive you and inspire you, and on top of that, like use those things to. Like you were saying, to build a cornerstone of, just who you are as a person, who you are as a man or a woman, and and actually realize what do you actually stand for, and actually, live and die by that, and I feel like just by having that, like, it's almost like what you said a minute ago, like, if you write down basically or wake up with the mentality like, this is the type of person I am, everything that you do as far as actions are going to follow that, so, walking with that, I'm a moral, respectful person, driven, whatever. Like if you talk about that and you put that in your mind, it's only natural for your mind and for your life and, everything around you to follow in that,
Follow suit, for sure, man. For sure, man. Ain't no better close out than that. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shout out to family. Give them a social media.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow us on social media platforms. Drunk Tourist Podcast. You follow me on my personal King of the Globe.
Hoes in the Pocket.
American CEO, IG. Hit me up, DM me. If y'all interested in any kind of investments, financial stability, I'm your man.
But no, in all seriousness, we talk about finances 99% of the time. Like, we both niggas with girls. So we don't need to talk about hoes no more. Finances. So if you really do have questions, hit me up, hit him up. If you're trying to invest, hit him up and actually invest. Make your money, make money. But man,
if you enjoyed this, remember, like and subscribe,
yes.
share, comment, all that.
Sure.
Let us know you